Zoe is working on park it, aka place. Some dog trainers call it go to your mat. All of this means that she is to hang out here on this defined piece of real estate, 3 inches by 4 inches, until formally released. Now, some people try to teach this with a bed, and I'm not a fan of teaching it with a bed, pretty strongly. The reason why is place is not the same thing as go chill in your bed. The bed is usually, and here, let me do this so I can talk at the camera. But the bed is a place where your dog can usually come, go at her leisure. She doesn't have to be released. It's just snuggly, it's relaxing. A park it is a command. It's a cue. It's basically like a playpen that you keep your dog in. You've got to remain on this piece of real estate while I do life around you. I find this helpful for dogs with separation anxiety. Zoe has pretty serious separation anxiety. So if she's behind a barrier, her kennel, if she's outside, she's whiny, crying, vocal, and she's a little bit of a hot mess, to be honest. And this has probably been our biggest struggle with her and board and train is, she's a Gemini and a half when there's not a barrier, a physical barrier. So the difference is if she's in here, right? So she's here, I'm gonna keep talking for your benefit and so she knows I'm going to a different room. I can be over here, I can make dinner, breakfast, and she's still getting used to being away from me. I don't want her to feel like she's entitled to be glued to my hip as my little shadow. I don't want that. That's not healthy for dogs with separation anxiety. We want to start creating a physical distance, which serves as a kind of a preamble to creating a little bit of emotional distance, which we need for dogs with separation anxiety. So this is kind of a nice stepping stone for dogs with sep angst, where I can walk away, I can do life, you can do life, but it's starting to get her used to literal physical and figurative distance from her handler. So when you do this, the dog bed, she comes and goes at her leisure. No, we want this to be when you're here, if you teeter off, it's kind of like a game of hot lava. If you ever played hot lava when you're 7, 8 years old and you hop from the sofa to the love seat to the couch because the ground is hot lava, this is a doggy version of hot lava. So there she is. I'm even going to test it. I'm actually going to go out the front door and we'll see. She might break. This is literally only her second training lesson with it, and if she breaks, I'll show you how to correct her. But there she is. Right there. Hopefully, can you see that? There we go. Okay, I'm walking outside. We're outside, and I'm gonna stop talking for a bit because I want her to be a little less self-aware of where I am, and then we're gonna creep on Zoe from the bay window. Okay. I don't know if you can just see the reflection of the glass or if you can actually see through the glass. Okay. Sweet. She's remaining in place. I wasn't so sure about that. So I'll just narrate. Let's just say she was to break. Then I would yell, "Enno!" and I'd rush in there and I'd immediately and somewhat forcefully take her back on there. All right, she's being really good. All right, we're gonna make it harder. I'm actually gonna ring the doorbell. Then maybe she'll break. So I'm gonna hold the camera against the window just so you can see her break, and then I'm gonna reach across and ring the doorbell. Okay, next step, I'm gonna knock, 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 knock. Oh, is she getting up? No, she's not. Okay, awesome, we're doing good. I'm gonna knock on the bay window. All of these are things that often dogs will get up for, any kind of knocking, doorbell, all this kind of stuff. So She's being really awesome. Okay, cool. Let me go back in there. Okay, we'll just walk inside. Okay. There she is. Good girl. Okay, last thing, I'm gonna formally release her by saying, okay, and moving away. Important thing, when you release her, I want your feet literally this close. You're not across the room, you are literally this close. If she knows that every time you're pretty much glued to this before you release her, you're gonna see a lot less premature breaking, right? If she thinks you might release her from across the room, she's gonna kind of try to predict that. She doesn't even know what this means right now, but I'll say I'll release her. Okay, come on, girlfriend. Good job. Good job. Okay, and then before you do anything else, pick this up immediately. Whoops. Immediately and put it high, because the only time this is down, she should be actively in a park it. It's going to keep it way more potent than if you leave it down. Way, way, way more potent. Okay. All right. Good job, Zoe. Good job. Good job.